Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's me, R Squad 911, back again, but this time not with an unboxing video, but more of an update video. So I don't know if you guys can tell here, but I have modded my Proton pack, just aesthetically, to kind of make it look more screen accurate. And then today I also wanted to show you what I used and what methods I use and how I did it to get this kind of look. I still have to kind of go over this whole pack with some matte black paint and get rid of some of the factory weathering and kind of weather it myself. I've weathered this a little bit just because it looks too plasticky. I've given it a good once over with matte clear spray paint, so it did kind of make it look less shiny plastic and more matte metal. But yeah, I'm going to show you a few things. All I really needed was some paintbrushes, some acrylic paint pens, fine tip, and there's lots and lots of colors in here, and I'll show you what I used all those colors for later. The main colors really was the blue, green, yellow, red, silver, and gold, and then we have some matte black acrylic paint, some metallic silver, and some metallic gold. I also have this rub and buff that Adam Savage uses in his, some hockey tape, hockey grip tape, black electrical tape, blue, yellow, red, some ribbon cable, I'll show you that later, hot glue gun. Also, what I don't have here is the matte clear spray paint, matte black spray paint, and not sure what else I'm missing, but I'll probably figure out as I go through this with you guys. So we're going to start off with the Proton gun here. I hit this with some matte spray paint because the factory just looked too clean, and I'll show you some before and after photos too. And this darkened it up and made it look more weathered. Hit this with a little bit of matte black acrylic, same with this button because they were just too clean, and I changed the grip. Well, didn't change it, I just wrapped it with some hockey tape. And then moving on over here, painted this gold, used some paint and used some rub and buff on it, painted that so it looks more like a nut there. Wrapped these with electrical tape, blue and red, and then hit it with a paintbrush and a little bit of the matte black acrylic. You kind of dab it on and just kind of use your fingers and just swirl it on, like almost like, you know, it's been taken on and off and whatnot, and it made a really good effect. Here, the factory one just kind of had this is just a molded piece of rubber that they've connected to this wire loom here, and I basically cut out the rubber that was here, and underneath is a hard plastic tube. So you just cut in on an angle till you hit that hard surface, cut angle on like kind of like you're slicing. Then you pull that piece out, and then you take a drill and you drill a hole here and a hole at the top here, and then you just shove wires in there. I have it shoved in so tightly these wires are not going anywhere. And then just for some effect, I put some electrical tape on the bottom of it. And also for the hose here, I just covered what they put there with some electrical tape, added some electrical tape there, just so it looks like it's reinforcing some bends. And I think it had a good effect, just like how I wrapped electrical tape over these pieces here. Whether this made it look more metally, because like, you know, you wear off the paint as you kind of turn this. Added some gold paint here. Just use a brush. You would just use a light coat first, let that dry, because at first it doesn't want to stick to the rubber. So if you just coat it lightly and let it dry, then you already have like a base coat for the rest of the paint to stick. So that's about 4 coats. So wait about 10 minutes per light coat. If you lay it on heavy, you're gonna have to wait a lot longer. So lighter coats is better. Added some silver to there, just so it actually looks like it's a metal resistor. And then I painted this silver. I just masked around that and just painted that. Just like Adam Savage did, I added a screw here just drill a hole. There's nothing really that you can hit back here. The control board's over here. So this is all empty space here. Pardon me. And just screwed in a screw. You can just do a screw hole just a little bit smaller than the actual threads of the screw. If you don't have a tap like I do, I have like a drill tap, so I match the threads and I just drill a hole so there will be threads in it, and I can just thread this in my hand. But you don't want the hole to be too small because you don't want to buckle the plastic and it'll turn all white. And yeah, you just want to be careful with that. Painted that screw silver, added some weathering on here. Yeah, wrapped this wire with blue electrical tape. It's kind of coming off now, but the original Phoebe pack had a blue wire there. Wrapped that with yellow tape and then weathered it a little bit. And then with the ribbon cable here, I actually just use a green Scotch-Brite pad. You know, just a green scouring pad that you use for your dishes. Use 70% isopropyl alcohol. Just put a little bit on the sponge and just start scrubbing this. And it came off so easily because I feel like the factory ribbon was just too dark that you couldn't really see the detail. So this one is lighter. It kind of matches the slightly weathered this. I'll get to that in a second. And I think it looks good. And I just kind of did a better wrap with it. Just kind of spun it one more turn. Painted this cover silver. And then it just dried overnight. So I'm going to weather it with a little bit of black because right now it looks too clean. Hit these screws with a little bit of matte black just to make them look like actual screws instead of plastic. Tapped in some nuts here. I think these are 1/4 inch hex bolts that I put in there. I also tapped it, but again, if you don't have a tap, then you would just use a drill bit that's just slightly smaller than the threads on these. So change those, change this hook to, what is this called, a P-hook? P-clamp? And with the bolt there, and it just looks more accurate. This one is a 1 1/4. I feel like that has a nice size. I used a 1 inch before and it was a little too tight having this braided line, this black rubber hose, and the ribbon cable in there. So, and later on, if you want to upgrade to the other ribbon cable, the extra space in there is welcome. Okay, what else did I do here? I also painted this silver to match the actual Phoebe pack color. Right there. And then after I painted all silver, I weathered it with the matte black, just with paintbrush and the matte black acrylic. Now I'm going all over the place here. Then I hit this with some silver, just with the paintbrush. This broken clamp here with silver, clamp here, silver. Hit these with gold. Again, 1 light coat, then 4 or 5 coats after that. And then I did the same here with these electrical connections. It just gives it more contrast, and it's not just all one. It used to be all this one color, and it just kind of looked weird. It didn't look right to me. So I feel like it looks a lot better like that. Wrapped this with electrical tape. Added some hose clamps here. I just cut off the tips of the old ones in this. Wrapped some electrical tape underneath, and I use a 7mm hose clamp on there and tightened it up. And here looks much better. That's just hit with some gold paint and rub and buff as well. Gave this a slight hint of gold on there. Just because the screen accurate ones were like a goldish, copperish, bronzy color. And I think that made it look a lot better there. Hit these rivets with some silver just to make them actually look like screws instead of just molded plastic. And what else did I do? Oh, I changed these from those silver Phillips screws to the hex bolts. And then on the bottom, I got rid of those black, those silver chrome screws and put black pan heads in there. And yeah, you just get the same size and it's fine. You put it in. You could put some black washers there as well. I just didn't have any, but I think it looks fine, just like this. Okay, so what else did I do? I'm trying to go over this whole thing. Oh, later on I'm going to add this to blue, and I've also ordered from GB Fans the actual aluminum block here because this is missing the 2 rivets that are supposed to be here. And I know people who have been trying to drill in and then adding screws. What they didn't realize is you can take this off and there's 2 screws holding the back of this on. I can't get this off right now. It's actually really tight on there. So they've been trying to drill in, but this, you know, this ion antenna thing, this ion block, this metal piece actually curves through here. So when you're drilling your holes, you're going to hit this and it's just not going to work. If it was just 2 separate pieces, it would have been no problem to put in some hex bolts. But yeah, can't do it. So I'm going to replace it with an actual aluminum one that's more screen accurate. Okay, so what else? Oh yes, so here I took this off of this cable and I trimmed the ends because this looked too frayed, and I used a lighter and I just burned it so it wouldn't fray anymore. Also hit it with some black spray paint just to make it a little more weathered. It was just too clean, brand new for my liking. And then down here, what I did was I just grabbed a whole bunch of wires that I had and I laid a piece of tape down on the table and I just lined all the wires up on it, and then I wrapped it around. Oh, I don't know if I can get up there. And then, so when they were already stuck to the wire, when I wrapped the wire tape around the existing plastic piece under there, it just evenly distributed the wires all the way around this thing. And then I taped it on, and then I also used some adhesive heat shrink on there. So once I heated up, the adhesive would melt. It would melt and hold all the wires together and hold it on to the electrical tape. So later on, when I removed the electrical tape, it's not permanent. And I think the effect was good. Then I used some electrical tape here, cut it in half, and then wrapped it around to make it look like the wire loom. And then on the bottom here, I also use that heat shrink, that adhesive heat shrink, just to hold it on the bottom. And I think it just gives it a good effect. Instead of just having like black molded wires, you actually have wires in there, and you kind of get that rainbow effect, like the cabling there. Yeah, just like how I have up here. Just looks better, just looks more real, more authentic. Also with these screws here, I just hit them with some silver, and I use my brush strokes to go outwards. So it would kind of give it those kind of marks on the actual screws, like those grip marks. And I think the effect was pretty good, because I was going to cut those off and then put in actual screws, but I don't want to add weight to it either. And then I also hit them with matte black before I did the silver on it. So, you know, it's good enough for now. And I think looks fine. Yes, what else did I do here? Just kind of give this thing a once over. Oh yeah, a note on adding these screws is very, very simple. You just kind of take snips and just snip off whatever's on this ladder here. And same as here. And then you just use that existing hole there. You are not going to hit anything. It is as deep as this thing is. But pretty much you would hit this if you got too long of a screw. So you want something like shorter than an inch and you'll be fine. Right? I guess what I will show you is the stuff that took me the longest. I'm going to put the camera on the tripod, and so it'll just hold it more steady and I can show you what's inside there. All right, and that's where these paint pens came in handy. And also some of this ribbon cable. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back. We are going to take this thing off here. There's a bellow. Put that over here. We're going to pull this off. I've also ordered a bunch of metal emblems to replace these plastic pieces. Put a metal one here, metal one up there. It's just going to be nice little metal plates with all the warnings and serial numbers and whatnot. I think that'll look pretty cool. Yes, so show you guys what I did here. Are you guys ready? Da, 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 da. Ooh, still smells like paint. Whew. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to disconnect this wire, so I'll just let that kind of sit there. All right, so there's the cyclotron right there on the insides. What I did was I used these acrylic paint pens here, and you want to use a fine tip, and I literally just went over every wire with the color. There'll be some mistakes. There might be some little like over leakage of the paint, and that's fine. There's an easy way to clean it up. I would use a toothpick. Let me go get one. In this instance, I used a skewer because it could reach better. And basically, once I painted it, and if it just fell in or just touched the other one, I wait for it to dry a little bit, and then I would use this and scrape in between the wires just to get a cleaner line. And it works like a charm. And if it's just a little bit, you can do it while it's wet, and it'll just pick it and scrape it right off. And it'll be no problem at all to fix it. And I could even do it on the bottom pieces here, like around the wire when I painted these parts gold. So I just found some references online on the color, how the colors went. And that's basically how I did this. Now I'm going to show you a part here once I take this off, how lazy I was. But I mean, I'm never really going to take this piece off to show people anyways. So, but I just wanted to show you guys up close what I did here. And all around here, I painted these gold, painted that gold. I painted these connections gold and black in the middle. Just for fun, I did those in silver on the ends there just to give some more contrast. And I hit the tops of all these bolts and screws with gold. I didn't want to go around all the nuts because that would have just been so time consuming. And I think the effect was great, and I think it looks really, really good. And then, so this is the part I was talking about, that I was being lazy. I didn't want to go through all of this. Ugh, I know. But in my mind, I know that it's not done. But I mean, this is going to be on there and you're not going to see it. I'm not going to take this off. All right. So I also painted all these gold, these pieces gold here, the nuts gold, and inside those are easy because it's nice and indented. The fine tip will just go around. You just kind of do a border all the way around and then fill the insides. So that was great. Also with these connectors here, I did gold here and then silver on the sides, silver on the insides here, gold on the outside. And then just painted all the wires. And I think that was it really, really gives it a great effect. Comment below and let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I also kind of gave this a light brushing of gold. Like it was 2 coats, you can't really see anything. I'll probably do some more just to give it a little bit more contrast. There. And with this turbine here, I just hit it with some silver, just 1 or 2 coats of silver, and I just kind of let the black plastic kind of protrude out of it. Painted inside here matte black, and then wiped the top to get the silver here afterwards. And yeah, a light coat, so it even gives it that weathered look. I added some silver here, so it just kind of looks like, because this thing's spinning, and yeah, it kind of gives some wear there and around. And then the last piece that I did was inside here, inside the cyclotron. I don't even know what these things are called, but I unscrewed all these, took these pieces out. There's also a cone piece in there that you can take out. Painted the tops gold with the paintbrush, just a couple of coats. Put silver here, weathered it with a little bit of black. I painted these gold because I didn't want to paint these screws. Because if I do take them out later, it will chip the paint off. So I figured the silver screws would contrast nicely with the gold. So I did that too with these top chips here. I did them silver and then painted these tops gold. The base of these silver, outlined it in gold there. There's a nice indent where the paint pen just easily goes there. Painted these gold with the brush. And down here with the paint pens. And these are paint pens here, silver. And these BNC connectors I did in silver as well. And I think the overall look of this turned out really nice. It's not just this boring plastic piece. And when I hit this, actually, I'll tell you that, guys, that after. And then I added that ribbon cable that I bought on Amazon. I tore out some of them, and I just went over top of the plastic injection molded one color ribbon cable. And I think it looks great. Yeah. And then after, when you're done all hand painting all of this, like this acrylic paint stuff does chip quite easily. Just because I didn't prep the surfaces either. I just, just did it. You don't want to do primer and sand it just in case you hit anything else, you'll damage it. I just took my matte clear spray paint and I sprayed everything once over. And it's really nice because this used to be a shiny plastic in here and it looked really shiny. Now it kind of has a satin look to it, and it looks better because it looks less plastic. So I would just spray inside here, give one coat, wait 10 minutes, spray another coat, wait 10 minutes, spray another coat, and then you're done. And then it just adds longevity to these surfaces here. So in case you hit it without that protection of clear coat, it will come off. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I also sprayed the whole pack with it just to hold all of, this, give it just a little bit of longevity. I think if you do scrape it against something hard, the paint will probably come off, but it would add to some of the weathering. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with all the mods that I did. Only a few things left for me to do. Painting, I think, is almost done. I just need to hit this whole pack with some matte black here and there, get rid of some of the factory weathering because it just looks like somebody used a Sharpie and randomly hit this thing like this. This looks horrible. I already kind of hit this with a Scotch-Brite, just rubbed it just to fade it a little bit. But some of this stuff just looks too intentional. What else am I going to do here? Oh, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod here. I ordered the actual wire loom here that matches the Phoebe pack in theaters. In the movie, and it's just a 1/2-inch braided yellow nylon hose with a black tracer, directional tracer on it. So that'll look pretty cool. Kind of not feeling this fabric-y kind of thing here. Kind of want everything more plasticky, more durable. And obviously changing that ion arm there. And maybe change the ribbon cable. I'm not sure. I kind of like it. One thing that why I don't want to change it is because, let's see, when this is turned on, like that, if you disconnect this, it does an overheating and then it shuts off. If you connect it back in time, it goes back on. So if I replace it and then replace this with an actual metal piece, I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep it actuated because there's obviously some sort of sensor there that senses whether this is connected or not. So I might leave that alone. Change that to blue. Add those metal logos here, 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 and here. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I'm going to get actual clippered valves to replace on the Proton, on the Neutrona one, and on the Proton pack. So, and that's pretty much it. And I forgot to mention, I did add this Rothco LC1 Alice pack frame on there, and it was a perfect fit. Very easy to do. But I must say the quality of these straps weren't the greatest. They do kind of come undone. At least for me, it was the right side that would come off. So when I was taking the pack off, it actually completely slipped off, and I was able to use my left hand to swoop in backwards and catch it before it fell off and hit the ground. So that was a little bit dangerous. But yeah, I'll figure a way to reinforce it once I have it all set, because I'm going to be the only one wearing this. I'm going to probably hit it with a staple in it so it doesn't move ever. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys, for my update and my mods. I'm still going to do a couple more things to it, and once I'm done, I'll do another video. But hopefully this video helps and gave you guys some pointers on what tools you will need, all readily available on Amazon. Oh, I use this hot glue gun to do the ribbon in there, so it's completely reversible. But yeah, that's it. Please like and subscribe, comment below, let me know what you guys think, what other things I should do, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.